What if you retire at 55? How does that affect your Social Security? We're going to talk about that here today at the Heritage Wealth Planning YouTube channel because it's interesting. I actually had a number of people respond to my last episode about retiring at 60 and how it affects Social Security. I just started playing around the numbers here, and I thought it'd be interesting to go into if you retire at 55 to show you how the Social Security numbers actually work even differently. It'd be interesting. Now, be advised. I've looked at this a little bit in advance, but not much. So we're going to learn these together as I think it's of interest to me. And if it's of interest to me, it presumably be of interest to you. So let's find out. So welcome to Heritage Wealth Planning YouTube channel, my friends. The place you come to learn all about Social Security, retirement planning, everything planning under the sun. We talk about it here. So don't forget to subscribe. You'll see that little button down below, tiny little button that YouTube wants to hide for some reason. So just click on that and then subscribe. And then hit the bell to be notified for future content. All right, so let's go right into this. This actually, I'm weird. I woke up early this morning with this idea at 4:30 in my head. I said, what if I ran some numbers, kind of played around with this a little bit? And I like doing this stuff. So, hey, to all you people who comment, I'm telling you, your comments make me a better financial planner. That's just all there is to it. Yeah, there are some weird comments out there, and that's fine. But I had a comment from a guy the other day that said, hey, sorry to ask, but if I don't itemize, can I take real estate taxes? Can I deduct real estate taxes? And he was very apologetic for that comment. And I said, no, it's no reason to be apologetic at all. You can, but at the end of the day, I mean, comments, A, helps me with YouTube, so that's good. So comment away. B, actually, I do get a lot of questions. I'm like, I don't know. And so I have to look into it a little bit deeper, which helps me as a financial planner. As I build my audience on YouTube as well, it helps me immensely. So don't hesitate to comment. If you have a comment or question, by all means, just put them in the notes because it's helpful, not just to me, but other people as well. So, all right, let's dive into this. Let me see if I can't make this a little bit big. Well, that might be good, actually, because we got a lot of numbers to chalk. The crunch. All right, so the premise is I have a guy who's born in 1963, which made him 55 today. Let me take my trusty calculator. Not 55, 1963. Yeah, 55 today. So he's 55 today. And we're just going to say work for the county, all right? Just for simplicity, maybe work for Bethlehem Steel, maybe work for Harley Davidson, whatever. But he worked for one company, essentially, or organization the entirety of his working career. Just because I want to establish the premise that he probably or she probably has a pension. Now, I'm not even going to talk about the pension in this regard. We're not going to discuss that. We'll discuss at a later date, presumably. But I just want to kind of get in your mind, it was someone who stays at one employer for the bulk of his or her working career. That way you can kind of get a fathom of who that might be as opposed to jumping around. Now, so in 1978, he was 15 years old. And so he didn't make any money. We're just saying he did not work. He's 15 years old. He went to college, then he graduated, blah, blah, blah. So he got his first job in 1988 when he's 25 years old. And they paid him $10,000 a year with the inflator. Now, this is all straight from the Social Security website. With the inflator, he had an income of $25,159 in today's dollars. And I got number one as the first year he worked for an income stream, okay? So again, we're assuming he made nothing as a teenager or in college, nothing. We can always change these numbers later, but I want to start with this premise. All right, so then we're just going to say you got a $1,000 raise each and every year for the first 3 years. And again, the inflator kicks in. All right, so 10,000 equals 25, 11,000, 26, 12,000, 27. And then he got bumped up to a shift supervisor. All right, so he made 16,000, 17,000, 18,000. After in his seventh year, he got bumped up to regional supervisor, 24,000, and he's making 1994 is 49,000 today, and blah blah blah. All right, so then he got his big bump up to I don't know, just whatever management, whatever it would be. I don't know. You can make the claim for yourself, but so it went from 27,097. He got a big bump up in 1998. And so his salary in 97 was the equivalent of 47,000, 48,000 today. In 98, it's the equivalent of 55,000. All right. So he did that. And then he got another big bump up in 2001 to 40,000, which made his average index salary of 59,000 in 2002 and one, which would be 59,000 today's numbers. And then he got another bump. So you can see how I'm doing here. So basically, stay with the same company, got steady promotions every 3 to 5 years or so. And so then in 2000 and let's see here. Let's keep going down. And in 2018, he finally just said, I got my pension kicking in. And again, we're not going to talk about the pension numbers here, but he said, I'm 55 years old. I got my 30. All right. So he's got his actually 31 years in, because once you hit the last 3 years, there is no inflator. All right. For Social Security, we're just using the numbers 1, 1, and 1, because they don't give you a cost of living adjustment for the 3 previous years. All right. Now, be advised, this would be a cost of living adjustment because he can't file for his Social Security at 55. Right. So these numbers are going to be somewhat smaller than they really will be, because there will be a cost of living adjustment here, because he won't be able to file until he's at least 62. So for another 7 years, and here's his full retirement age at 66 or 67 will be his full retirement age, because he was born after 1960. All right. So I'm just using the numbers as we have today. So he asked me today, Josh, I'm thinking about hanging up. Can you give me a base idea of what my Social Security will be based on today's numbers? I hope that makes sense. We're not inflating it because we don't know what the index for inflation is going to be that Social Security uses. We're just saying, as we sit here today, this would be what your benefit would be. All right. So he has 31 earning years. All right. So he's got, 31 years we made an income, and that means 4 years of goose eggs, because remember, they take your top 35 years of work. So 1 goose egg, 2 goose egg, 3 goose egg, 4 goose eggs. So he has 31 years of income and 4 years of goose eggs. We take all those 31 years, we add them up after we index them, and then we got a total earnings of 1.6 million. We divide that by 420, 35 years of work record times 12 months equals 420, and that gives us an AIME of 3,992. Now remember, AIME is just your monthly average index monthly earnings. It's not PIA. All right, so PIA is what we're looking for. So we're going to go down here to get our PIA. PIA is the amount you get, in this case, at 67 at his full retirement age. So his PIA, his AIME is 3,992. We got to figure out his PIA. So we take 3,992, subtract 895 from that, and times that by 0.9. So every 895 of your AIME, you're going to get $805.50 for your benefit. The amount above 895 but below 5397, you'll get 32% as your benefit. And so in this case, he's got 805 in the first threshold, 991 in the second, and he's got nothing in the third. So his PIA at this is 1796. And again, that's at 67, at full, we'll just say FRA, which is 67 years old for him. All right. So he's going to get $1,796 in today's numbers at his full retirement age at 67. He's not going to get anything before that. Now, we can say, well, what if you retire early, and he's going to lose roughly 35% from retiring early, from taking his benefit at 62. So if he took his benefit at 62, we're going to take that equals that times 0.65. Now, and that'll only be at early filing at 62. And I mean, it's going to be a little bit different. I'm just using a rough number. It might be 32%. I think it is 32% actually. Let's do 32%. Off the top of my head, I don't remember. But roughly, he's going to get about, between $1,150 and $1,200 a month. All right. Off the top of my head, I just can't remember the exact specific amount of the reduction for someone whose full retirement age is at 67. If it's at 62 and your full retirement age is at 66, I do know it's 25%. So actually, let's reduce that. It's not going to be 35%. Let's just say 30% for simplicity. Blink, and we'll go to 70. All right. So his benefit will be at early credit filing. It'll be $1,257. So we know that for a fact. That's what his amount would be at 62, 5 years before his full retirement, and then at 70 was delayed earnings credits. So let's see what that's going to be. And we're going to times that by 0.24 because there's 8% a year for 3 years. We're going to times by 1.24. And so at 70 with delayed earnings credits, 70 with delayed credits. All right, so you see the range. So he knows right now if he were to hang up his boots and never work again, because remember, he has no other income for these other years, he's going to get between 1,200 and 2,200. Or, I mean, so basically 1,200 on the low end, 2,200 on the high end, and 1,700 on the middle, 1,800 roughly. All right, but now let's just say he says, I'm done with this job. I want to go working part-time, I don't know, raising vegetables. I'm going to sell vegetables. I expect I'll make $3,000 a year doing that. So let's clear these guys out. My phone rang. Sorry, guys. Let's clear these guys out. We're going to edit. We're going to cut. Edit. We're going to delete values. There we go. All right, so now he says, for the first year, I think I'll make, $12,000. Second year, I'll make $15,000. Third year, I'll make $18,000. Fourth year, I'll make 20. And fifth year, I'll make 25. We'll just say that. All right, so now let's do this. Boink. All right, so now he is 36 years of work record. So we're going to move this one right here will not be added. All right, so we're going to remove that because he only has his top 30. Actually, let's make sure those first year is 25. Okay, good. So what we're going to do now is we're going to calculate all these guys because remember he only gets the top 35. So we're going to remove the lowest one he gets. And remember these are all going to be ones simply because we don't inflate them. At this point. Now, they will all be inflated once he hits his PIA or his early credit if he wants. These will be inflated until he's 60 years old. Then they won't be inflated anymore. So we know these will all be inflated. So again, we're going to give him a little bit of a short shift here. But what we're going to do here is we're going to go add all these guys up. All right. So we're going to add all these up. But we're not done yet because we still got to minus that $12,000 that he had right there. And we're going to go boink. And then we're going to minus 12,000. Let's see if that works for us. I'm not sure. Yeah, okay, good. Did it? Yep. All right. I think it did. Let's see. 1754, 1.754. Let's make sure it did. Yep. All right, cool. Good. It did. All right. So now let's go back here. We're going to subtract out that one for $12,000. All right, so now we got to take this equals this guy divided again by 420. And now his AIME is 4,178. So now we're going to come down here and we're going to do the same thing. So remember, that's what he had before. He's got, I'm actually going to go over here, 4,178 minus, 4,178. And we're going to do 895. All right, then we're going to do what's 417. Oh, I guess we can just do this. Equals this minus that. And we know, okay, so we got this times 0.9 times, 0.9, and this times 0.32 because that's his AIME. And how the bend rates work is you take, again, the first 895 times that by 0.9, the second amount up to 5,397 and times that by 0.32. All right, so we're going to take our trusty calculator here. We're going to go that times this, boink. And then we're going to take our trusty calculator here. We go that times this, boink. And then we're going to take our trusty calculator here, and we're going to go sum these two guys. All right, so now his A, look at that. I mean, that's just amazing to me. This is what's helpful to me, my friends. I cannot stress this enough. He's going to add an extra, that's not much, man. That's an extra 1856, $60 a month, roughly, for all this extra work. Let's see, am I missing something here? No, because I just put it right here I guess I should have put these guys over here. It won't matter though, because they're all indexed for one. So let's just do that. It's the same thing. Nothing changes. So look at that. He's going to work all those extra 5. Now, he might be enjoying this work right here for sure. He might be enjoying that work, but it's not going to add that much to his Social Security benefit. That's his benefit at full retirement age, at FRA. I'm not going to get into the difference here, but it's 60 extra bucks a month for all this extra effort he put in. Now, that might be worth it because he said, I was bored and I like going out there and raising chickens and selling, grass-fed beef or free-range eggs or something like that. But I'm curious, what if we say, what we've done here now is we said he made all this money in his last 5 years. So he said, I'm not going to retire at 67. I thought about it, but then, when I told him I was going to quit, my boss said, we need you badly, so we're going to give you a raise to 110. And you'll be the, I don't know, East Coast supervisor, whatever. So we're going to give you 110. We're going to say you're going to make 111. We'll say 115. We'll say 120. And we'll say 125. All right, so now we're going to have a AIME of 5,078. So we say 5078, and I'll get you here in just a second how we calculate this number. So how do we calculate that number? We just take this right here. Let's see, I got something wrong up there. Hold on just a second. We're going to add. Let's make sure this number is correct. So we're going to take that. We're going to sum up everything other than the first year he made an income because that's his lower. So we're going to sum up all this right here. Boink. And that gives us 2,003. But we got, yep, that's right. $2.2 million is what his total indexed earnings is. Divide that by 420. His AIME is 5316. All right. So 5316. 316. Now we're going to say that minus 5316 minus 895 minus 895 equals 4421. There's nothing here, so we're going to get rid of that guy. So now his PIA is $2,220. All right, so now his PIA is $2,200. So remember, he said, I'm going to stay in this crappy old job for an extra 5 years because I have debt to pay, or I'm worried about losing money, or the boss says he's going to give a promotion, sound pretty good, but he hates it. He hates it. So he said, but at least I'm adding to my Social Security. And we're saying, well, are you really adding to your Social Security? So now your AIME is 5316, right here. And we do the bend points. And so now your PIA is $2,220. All right, so let's get rid of this. It was something else I was doing for somebody else. All right, so let's get rid of this. $2,220. Now, we did a couple things. One is we had him retiring outright and not even going back to work. And so here you got 2020. So we take equals this minus that. So here he's making $423 more a month in Social Security. Social Security at full retirement age. Now here, let's take this. We're going to go boink. We're going to take this guy. We're going to say equals this minus this. So here he's making $364 a month. All right. So now I just don't see a huge benefit here. So now we're going to take this. We're going to times it by 12. That's an extra $5,000 a year. That's it. We're going to take this times it. That's an extra $4,000 a year. All right. So now what we do is we say every year you work is about 2,080 hours for a full-time job. It's a 40-hour work week. 2,080 hours is a full-time work week. So if he's making an extra $5,000 a year in Social Security, but it cost him 2,080 hours, theoretically, you'd say we take this guy, divide by 2,080. His labor is $2.44 an hour. Now, it's not quite as apples to apples as that because he's going to get this for the rest of his life, and he only had to work that 1 year, but he actually had to work 5 extra years. He was working 56, 57, 58, 59, or 6 extra years in this case. So it cost him 12,000 hours. He'll never get back. It cost him 12,000 hours. He's never going to get back to get an extra $5,000 a year for the rest of his life. And that's if he just stopped working outright. Now, it's even worse when you factor in if he went to do something he likes, he's only going to make an extra $364. I just don't see how he can make an argument for that. I'm just trying to think of what I'm missing here. And this is where I had the epiphany when I was doing the episode yesterday. I said, wait a second. So a guy to cut out at 55, and he was making okay money. I mean, this is pretty good money. Not here, not this, but this was. He's going to cut out at 55 because he's miserable. Whatever it is, I literally don't care. To cut out at 55 to go raise chickens, to go sell records, to go fishing, earning some kind of money. I don't know, to go landscape, to go do YouTube videos. Man, I don't see, yes, if you have debt or you have other issues where you need that kind of money, I get it. But to stay at work just to get Social Security, and a lot of times in this case, a guy who stayed there this long is probably going to have a pension source. But even if he doesn't, if he did have a pension source, there's absolutely no reason not to stay. To stay, I don't see it. If he didn't have a pension, again, you can make the argument you need this cash. I get that. But in terms of Social Security, staying on to get Social Security, and the reason why this doesn't work so much is you got to remember, the max benefit you're going to get is $2,800 a month. That's the max benefit you're going to get is $2,800 today. All right, that's it. And what happens again is the first $895 of earnings you make of your AIME, you're getting 90% of that back to you in your Social Security benefit. But then it drops by 2/3. So the next, basically $5,000 roughly, to 5,397. So between 895 and 5,397, you're only getting 32 cents back. And anything above 5,397, you only get 15 cents back. Social Security, the primary insurance amount is definitely a progressive tax where you get more for the less income you make. There's just no getting around that. Anyway, I tell you, this is I find this incredibly beneficial. Again, and I have to thank my audience, not for awakening me on this, but for asking a question that maybe dive into it and say, you don't necessarily need to stay working in a crappy old job to gain more benefit of Social Security. You got to run the numbers for yourself. But if I'm missing something, let me know. I don't know what it could possibly be. I just don't know what it could possibly be. Once you hit a certain AIME, average index monthly earnings, it's just hard for that to jump up significantly. I don't see it. Now, I guess if he kept doing this until he's 66, it would. But, at the end of the day, if he's already saying I should retire at 55, man, cut out. Just start doing something you enjoy. Now, if you enjoy what you do or you don't mind it, maybe stay on there. But I'm telling you, there's something liberating like crazy about doing what you enjoy. Me doing this right here. I cut out at 47 because I wanted to do something different, that I actually could wake up every morning at 4:30 like I did today and say, oh, man, I got to think about this and talk about it. And I think it's helping people because I see some of the comments. So anyway, I'll cut it off here. This is fantastic for me as a financial planner. Hopefully you're getting some value out of this as well. If you like what you see, my phone keeps ringing. All these people trying to sell me stuff. I hate that. But if you like what you see, definitely subscribe down below. Hit the notification bell to be notified for future content. We do a couple videos a day. Comments are welcome. Please comment. Don't troll people. There's no reason to be an ass. I just don't do that. But comments are welcome for sure, and I can't stop you from commenting. So if you want to, I'm not gonna. Unless you get racist or yelling at people, I won't have that. But if you just have something to say, by all means say it. The comments actually help me. But if there's any crazy stuff, I'll just delete it. But comments are welcome for sure. Thumbs up always help me as well. And don't forget to go to the blog. I'm going to try to put this up on the website, myheritagewealthplanning.com. I'm going to try to create it. When I do, I'll put the link in the show notes here. It'd be nice if y'all could have access to this to run it yourself. Now, this right here, by the way, is just straight from Social Security. This is it. Now, these things right here, I just did my own, just copy and paste the Social Security info and put it in there. And then this part right here where the blue stops in 2018 beyond, I just did myself. But it's, literally it's the exact same calculation of Social Security. These things down here are right from Social Security too. I just put it in my own spreadsheet, but it's right from Social Security. So anyway, I'll let you guys go. This is enough of that. But appreciate you being here. If you have any questions, thoughts, concerns, let me know. We'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.